Hey, what's going on, wrestling fans? My name is Timothy J. Jones, and welcome to another edition of the TJ No Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about some of the hottest topics in all of professional wrestling. Before I get started, I ask that you hit that subscribe button, help the channel to grow. And if you're on the fence, like I always say, hopefully by the end of this episode, you would have hit the like button and we have won you over. But on this edition, we're going to be talking about WWE superstar, or should I say, former WWE superstar R-Truth. Now, R-Truth has been in the news for the last couple of days, since June 1st, to be exact, when he announced on his social media page that he was released from the WWE. And there has been an outcry amongst WWE fans and wrestling fans all over about R-Truth being released. And it honestly came out of nowhere because R-Truth was in a program with WWE champion, the 17-time champion, John Cena. And he was, in a one-on-one match at the Saturday night's main event on, I believe it was May 24th or May 25th. And, you thought that maybe, the WWE was going to utilize R-Truth, maybe have him a part of a storyline pertaining to John Cena, may cost John Cena a match, cost him the WWE Championship down the line. But then a few days later, they release him. And it just came out of nowhere. And, fans had a lot to say about R-Truth. Wrestlers that are in WWE, formerly were in WWE, that knew R-Truth, always speak highly of him. They spoke highly of him about the person that he is, how he represented the company, how he always lived spirits. And, being a WWE superstar, you're away from home all the time and, you're on the road and it's a grind, right? I mean, you have to go to this city, to that city. You got to make this date and that date. And sometimes, guys get and ladies get frustrated at the grind. And you need those guys that's going to lift the spirits. And it seems like R-Truth was that guy. I mean, when Vince McMahon owned the WWE, everybody knew that Vince McMahon loved R-Truth. And some people feel like if Vince McMahon was still the owner of WWE, then R-Truth wouldn't have been fired. And I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But what people are seeing right now is what happens when corporate America runs what you love, and it is a sport of passion. Because you can say whatever you want about Vince McMahon, justifiably so. Some of the things that are in the news and the things that are being reported are just downright disgusting. There are things that Vince McMahon has done that people have come out and said, I mean, just downright vile. But I'm only talking about it from a business standpoint. WWE was all that Vince McMahon had. It was his life. If WWE fell under, I mean, that was it for Vince McMahon. But when you have corporate America like TKO and Endeavor, they got so many other business ventures. And I hate to say it, but WWE is just another venture that they just kind of got into. They don't look at R-Truth as a valuable asset to WWE. They look at him as a guy that probably is costing a lot of money. And they look at what he has been over the last couple of years, showing up in certain storylines for comic relief, 24/7 championship. And they probably just thought to themselves, well, I mean, we can utilize this money over here. And I also heard reports that they decided that they wanted to renegotiate a deal with R-Truth, basically lowballing him. And this is corporate America 101 right here. For them to save face and make it seem like, oh, they were trying, they give you some type of offer, but it is so degrading, so disrespectful that they knew for a fact that more than likely he wasn't going to take it. But once again, this is what corporate America does. They don't have a dog in a fight. They're not looking at R-Truth like you look at R-Truth. That's the reason why he got released. But R-Truth will land on his feet. I mean, people have really been very vocal about R-Truth. I mean, we've heard on Monday Night Raw this past Monday, fans chanting, "We want Truth." The WWE is trying to barrel down on the truth martyrism, so to speak, making sure that superstars aren't wearing his merchandise. They hiked up the price of the R-Truth merchandise just to try to, collect on that, which just shows you just how money hungry WWE, TKO, and Endeavor are at this point. I mean, we see all of the commercials. I mean, commercials galore. Saturday Night Main Event. I'm just glad that I checked it out on the replay. There was so many complaints about how many commercials they have. We wrestle for 2 minutes, then we're going on a commercial break. You got all of these different advertisers and advertisements on the ring right now. It just seems like WWE right now is selling themselves to the highest bidder. We already heard and seen about the reports about New Orleans losing WrestleMania. That doesn't happen if Vince McMahon, once again, is the owner of WWE. But I feel bad for R-Truth. I think that he was doing some of his best work that he did in years. He actually had a meaningful storyline, but luckily for him, he got a big payday on his way out of the door. And I'm pretty sure if I'm Tony Khan, I'm looking at this, I'm trying to capitalize on R-Truth. R-Truth can be a great asset in AEW, whether it's him being that comedic, lovable guy that he is, or even trying to help to advance some of the young talent that you actually have. He has been around for a very long time. I can remember when R-Truth was K-Quick rolling with Road Dogg in the Attitude Era. He's a 53-year-old guy, but it seemed like he just been around like forever. Like, it's like he's like Wolverine or something, like WWE Wolverine, like how Wolverine just lived through many generations. That's kind of what R-Truth is. But he is a valuable asset, no doubt about it. But, it's unfortunate. But, I expect for some more shocking releases to happen. We already are hearing about reports of Roman Reigns possibly getting a contract restructure. The $15 million that he is paid annually through WWE, TKO and Endeavor don't really like that, especially when he is not wrestling as often. I don't know how they're going to get out of that, especially since Roman Reigns signed that deal before the merger even taking place. So I don't know how they're going to get themselves out of that. But they have to be very, very careful not to alienate the true fans of professional wrestling. They're hiking up the prices on ticket sales. They are just slobbering all over these celebrities, and they're forgetting about the true fabric of what WWE is all about. It's about the love, the passion, the storylines. That is what it's all about. It's not about corporate interest. It's not about ISO speed and even, the Paul brothers, like this has nothing to do with that. It's about some of these young, talented wrestlers like Brian Breaker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, who is getting lost in the shuffle for some apparent reason, got the talent, Dominique Mysterio. This is what it's about. This is how you're going to keep the train going, by developing these guys, not bringing in all of these YouTube superstars for them to be in big time situations where they just make the product just look absolutely ridiculous and honestly slapstick funny. You need these young, hungry wrestlers that can go out there, that can generate money, that can main event WrestleManias for years to come. But that's just my opinion about the situation, man. Jerry says WWE is already downhill. Yeah, man. I mean, it is pretty tainted right now, Jerry. It's very tainted the way that they're actually doing things. I'm very concerned about the product when it comes to some of this, young developing superstars. It just seems like there's not that one superstar that's emerging right now. Now they got a storyline going with Seth Rollins and his new faction, bringing along Brian Breaker and Bronson Reed. That can work. And you also have Dominic Mysterio, who is the Intercontinental Champion. But I think about guys like Carmelo Hayes losing to Andrade on SmackDown. Carmelo Hayes has a lot of talent. He's a good worker in the ring. I mean, being a Money in a Bank winner can actually catapult him, and it can legitimize him as a superstar, and he'll be able to carry the banner. He did some really good work in NXT alongside his guy Trick Williams. So I just think that, they need to try to push some of these superstars. And once again, where my boy Austin Theory at, man? Austin Theory was on his way to the main event. He went from going to WrestleMania, taking on John Cena, to rolling around, with, like just not even on TV, like not even on TV, forget that he's even a part of the company at all, man. It just, it's just pretty sad when you think about it, man, the way what this dude was and what he has become. It's pretty sad when you think about it. NXT on CW and SmackDown on USA. Yeah, I mean, those are the spots where they're on, network television. But, I just think that they just need to find better storylines for some of these individuals. But I would love to hear from each and every one of you. What do you think about R-Truth being released? What do you think about TKO really flexing their corporate muscle and kind of interfering with what we love about professional wrestling? Comment down below, like and share this video. Thank you so much for checking out the TJ Knows Wrestling podcast. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, and let me know who would you like to talk about on the next episode. Till next time, I'll see you down the road.